Hello, we do have a friendly clan war. ToR versus FaDe. Very impromptu. But we will be getting our first game underway very shortly. Should be good. GLHF GG, I am ready. There will be a ZVP on GSL Antigua Shipyard. Just waiting on Röyksopp. Will be a best of 9 GSTL format All-Kill. So bear with us while we wait until Röyksopp is ready. And please let me know if the stream is lagging at all or anything like that. I can see the chat who is playing. We will have Thomas representing ToR, while FaDe Röyksopp is obviously going to be representing FaDe. This is game number 1. Röyksopp says he's ready. Just waiting on final preps. My name is Baldy. I am only gold, so bear with me if I make any silly comments. But should be good. Hopefully it is a good clan war. I have done one clan war in the past. I believe it was ToR vs QED. It looks like we're getting into the game, so I will shut up shops and jump straight into the game. I will update the scoreboard as we do have this. Hopefully this should work. So yes, GSL Antigua Shipyard, as I said, Thomas, Zerg, FaDe, Röyksopp, Terran, ZVT. Looking forward to it. This is the first game. Let's jump straight into it. That's the wrong one, and that should be great. I think that's right. Please let me know if those are incorrect, but nonetheless, get straight into the game. Spawning in our bottom left-hand corner, we do have our representative for ToR in the first game. It is our pink Zerg, Thomas. And spawning across positions, we do have in the top right hand corner representing FaDe our green Terran. We do have FaDe Röyksopp. I have not seen either of these gentlemen play, so I'm not sure what will happen here, but again, it's more than likely not going to have anything notable to happen at the start of the game. We do have the pretty standard supply depot and more than likely the barracks over. With that, I guess Thomas is going to be the first notable difference. We'll see whether he opts for a 15 hatch or goes for gas timing, or gas then a pool or pool gas. But it looks like he's maybe just going for a scout pretty early. And Röyksopp will depend if we see any gas as to whether he's going to do any kind of early expansion, marine heavy. We'll just have to wait and see. But it looks like Thomas is scouting. He will scout incorrectly to the top left-hand corner. And we do have the barracks going down. We don't have any pool or gas yet, so it does appear that we will be seeing a 15 hatch expand. As we do have him incorrectly scouting up here. So Thomas will be the first one, more than likely, to scout correctly into the base of Röyksopp. And we do have a double barracks, so it looks like we'll be going into some 2 racks pressure, which actually could do a lot of damage versus 15 hatch. Interesting to see how that pans out. If Thomas can actually get into the base and scout it before complete. Let's get this wall complete. And looks like he will be able to get into. No, he doesn't. So that's pretty clutch from Röyksopp. He won't be able to see the second barracks. So from his point of view, it will look pretty standard, and we could have quite a bit of damage to be happening here. Again, Röyksopp will be incorrectly scouting as well, but it's no biggie. more than likely we'll see a barracks go down, not barracks, a bunker go down. I guess in this situation, I do have a sup from Skype. I will have to block my communication from Skype. Apologies for that. But again, it will be interesting to see if he can pull off a bunker. I guess if you look at the positioning, he can do some nice bunker placements out the back of the mineral line. We do have the pool just completing though for Thomas, so even if there was any kind of barracks play, as long as he saw it early, he should be able to negate any kind of damage that a bunker could do. But it looks like the worker is coming down now. He will see the spine crawler, and we don't actually have any marines jumping down, so it was a 2 racks. There will be no marines coming down. We'll force the drones to be pulled from Thomas, deny that worker time and mineral income for quite some time, and more than likely we'll force a few lings. He has cancelled it straight away, so didn't really do much. Did take 3 drones off working, so it would have lost a bit of econ, but nothing too severe. And we do have an expansion coming down, so it was a 2 racks expand going into 4 racks actually, so it looks like we will be seeing heavy marine play as there are no gases being taken at this point in time. And look at the worker count, 22v19. And this Ling will be able to jump up. More than likely won't be able to scout up into the base, as we do have a very heavy marine wall here and won't actually see anything. So technically doesn't know there's an expansion up, which is pretty important information to know, but he is getting his double gas now, so we'll be able to start that speed pretty shortly. And really it seems like Terran's just going to be macroing up a bit here. He has expanded, so it's not going to be like 4 barracks into any kind of 1 base play. More than likely we'll see a heavy marine play. Maybe he has got his gas now, so maybe start that combat shield or stim pack pretty soon. We do have nothing really notable from Zerg yet. He's just macroing up. 28 drones now, so it hasn't really had any need to build any Zerglings, so it can just drone up. And Thomas going into the scout. This will actually be quite a big deal, because he will be able to see all 4 barracks if he can jump in here. The Marines are coming through, so will he see? He does know that the 4th is there, so that's all he needs to know. He does see that there are a tech lab and reactor going down, so we'll know bio play. Obviously saw a lot of Marines, so good intel to get. And he probably and there we go. We do see the bailing nest. I was about to say, more than likely we'll see that bailing nest drop, so we can deal with the heavy bio play. But this push might actually land just before banelings come out. We do have stim on the way. It won't be ready in time if he does go for a straight streamline to the base. Thomas will see this. The Zergling is taken care of. Still have 2 base, and we do have a double Evo. Probably just more than likely being safe in case there were any Hellions initially. But it looks like we could have quite a bit of damage. Just a good thing to note is obviously you want to make sure that these creep tumors are taken care of. Trying to minimize the amount of creep spread. And we do have 8 banelings in production, so these queens will try and deny this force until these banelings can come out. He is nice transfuse on the spine crawler. It will come down, but these banelings are complete. He needs to be careful. He needs to split these, and he gets a few, and he will actually get most of them and cleans this up, and no damage done by Ricochet. If we look at the units lost, pretty close, but those banelings coming in very nice timing. Would have done a lot of damage. And Ricochet realizing the timing was just unfortunate a bit there, but again it was because of the great scouting from Thomas. If he didn't see the 4 racks, he might not have got those banelings out, just the baneling nest in time. But it does show you the benefit of good scouting. He does have a lot of queens, 4 queens in total. There actually is no queen up at the main, so no lava injects at the main, which is quite a big deal. It will mean they will have less lava available for him as the game goes on, but there we go. Looks like he will be jumping them back up, and these lings won't be able to go in. So we have a hard wall and a 3rd coming down. Now it is something notable that versus Zerg, it is pretty common to get that 3rd expansion up pretty early in the game, I should say. But it could actually be his downfall. We do have a baneling bust about to land. There's a lot of income being put towards his command center. If we look at the unit count, he does have 17 Marines, so we'll come down to some important splitting. you can just streamline through the supply depot. This actually will see that the Baneling bus is coming, and it will be able to split. Goes down, and the Zergling is going to make it surround, and I think this is going to be pretty hard to stop from Ricochet. He will lose all of his Marines, and now the SCVs are available to just get slaughtered. He does have 5 more Banelings in production out the front of the base. More Lings streaming through. 24 Lings in production. So Thomas, seeing the opportunity, will go straight for a kill. These SCVs doing as much damage as they can, but these Zerglings are just ripping through, and you expect a GG pretty soon from Ricochet, unless he can somehow pull out a miraculous hold. He will be lifting off and will deny this command center as well. If we look back home, he does have, what is that, 7 Marines up the front now, 8, 9. He has got his factory up, but he won't be able to get tanks up at any time soon. And Thomas doesn't actually have to, like, you know, win with this. He has made a lot of Lings, but he is expanding behind it. He has his 3rd up now. If we look at the worker count, 45 v 23, he's almost double that. In fact, he is now double that of Ricochet. So he will just deny this expansion for some time. More than likely, Ricochet will be able to repel this. There are a lot of Lings. So interesting to see. He does have stim, and nice timing on the combat shield. Needs to be careful about these Banelings. He does focus fire them, and one Baneling gets a few hits, so he will more than likely be able to stop this up. But again, did kill quite a few workers, denied the 2nd for some time, and if we look back home, he has his 3rd up running nice and easily. He is getting, actually, what is he getting? Overlord speed, so we may be gearing up for some drops soon. But again, nice play, nice Baneling bust, did quite a bit of damage. We have a bunker going up, so Ricochet, if we look at the units lost, Terran a bit far behind in that sense. The income 50, now 63 versus 29, so that is a huge difference. It's going to take something pretty big for Ricochet to come back from here, but again, can't say that he is out of the game. He is just behind. Obviously premature GG from me. I am very quick to make decisions on when a game might end, but kudos to Ricochet for being able to hold that. And it looks like we have tank production and siege tech on the way. So once those siege tanks come out with their upgrade, they will be able to deal more effectively with Banelings. But it looks like we have potentially some scouting overlords. They do have speed upgrade, and he's getting Baneling speed as well as level 2 upgrades and drops. So maybe he's just seeing the composition of Ricochet. As none of them did have any units, and nice use of the Overlord crit spread. Will deny that 3rd for some time. He will try and, expand to this 3rd, but he will see the creep spread here, and even if he does get rid of this Overlord, obviously it does take some time for that creep to clear. And he does have an infestation pit, getting infestors up very shortly. I do like this play. If we look home, it is still a very heavy bio play. We do have 4 racks still in total. He's doing medivacs and tanks as well. The Overlord has been denied here. And we'll start his command center and then lift it up when it's complete. That will more than likely give enough time for the creep to dispatch. We do have a 4th coming up as well, so nice use. If we look at the cam, nice vision from Thomas. He has almost the entire map covered. He can see when any drops are coming. If they are, he has it covered down here and across here as well. So very solid play from Thomas. And it looks like we do have a lair on the way as well. Actually not opting, he actually already has a lair, so I'm interested. Is that a miss? Maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't really seen a double lair much in my time, but maybe just being precautious. More than likely though, it is a misclick. Maybe he's trying to go for hive tech but clicked the wrong hatchery. But he is getting rid of these destructible rocks, so he has more access to the 3rd. These Marines will more than likely get sucked up, but again, these siege tanks are a key component of repelling any kind of Lings. 22 Lings in production, so he may be going to try and deny this 3rd. And he doesn't have a lot of Lings himself. Now up to 4 bases. He doesn't have a macro hatch, I don't believe. He is getting a macro hatch now, so we'll be having 5 hatcheries with lava available to him. That lair did actually finish, so he does have double lair. There you go, kids. But he has 2-2 finish. If we look at the upgrades from Ricochet, 0-1. So, I mean, the reason for that is with that Baneling bust, Thomas was able to get rid of any of the evolution chambers. what am I saying? Mental blank. These ones, engineering base. Sorry. He did kill the engineering base, so it did mean that the upgrade count for Ricochet was denied. It looks like he's doesn't have any detection, so we'll be able to jump in here. Maybe doing some beach balls onto the tanks, but needs to be careful because these are too infested. They do have a lot of energy, and actually we'll be able to get into the base. There is a supply depot down, so we'll be able to see that there is the second gas being taken. And more than likely we'll jump up here, throw some beach balls, try and do some harass on the mineral line. But not, he's actually doing a fungal, and we'll get a nice clean, how many was that? I think he's up to 24 worker skills, so nice little harass there. He has scan there, but this infestor is safe at the moment. And looks like he is gearing up for a fifth as well, so very solid play from Thomas. He definitely is in control. If you look at the worker count, 64v 36. Ricochet's had this expansion up. He has been denied for some time, and he hasn't got that great of an upgrade count. So really, I definitely feel like it's in Thomas's hand to throw the game, but again, you can't deny the strength of a Terran tank composition. If he gets some nice engagements, he could jump straight back into it. We do have a Hive completed and a level 3 upgrades as well as Ultralisk, so it looks like he will be gearing for Ultralisk instead of Broodlords. A lot of infestors and needs to get some good fungals. Actually hasn't got any fungals off. There will be a lot of fungals that would have just been able to annihilate that army. Look at the, I think they all had enough energy. They do. So losing 5 or 6 infestors for no real gain. And for the first time, Ricochet has the middle of the map starting to extend his vision, and will be able to actually not safely expand to his third. Nice Ling surround. We'll be able to take out a few of these mules, which is quite a big deal. And here's the big engagement. The Lings will come streaming through and annihilate this force. Nice fungal on the tanks, and this army will just get decimated down to 92 supply. And so will this Medivac. If we look at the units lost, it does tell the tale. We now have 73v57. These Marines are doing a little bit of damage, but again, these fungals will be able to clean them up quite nicely. But he doesn't really, I'm just aware of these Lings. He did lose most of the Lings to the tanks, but 7 Ultras on the way, so definitely going for the killing blow here. We will see a Greenal Gland completing. May wait actually for the 3-3 upgrade on the Ultralisk, but 46 Lings and 7 Ultras, you'd feel pretty confident with this push. If we look at the units, 1 tank and 26 Marines for Ricochet. He doesn't have a Ghost Academy, so he won't be able to do any kind of snipe play either. And if we look, I don't think he's actually scouted for some time, so Ricochet hasn't really been able to do any scouting. He's playing completely blind at the moment. And the Ultras have popped. We do have 2 more on the way, and looks like we will be gearing up for a timing push as this 3-3 completes. A nice drop from Ricochet will deny this 5th, and more than likely we'll be able to jump up with no loss. Needs to, actually, he doesn't kill it. I feel like if he maybe stimmed another time, they would have been able to kill it onto 170 health, so I guess it's not really that important at this point in the game. He more than likely will be seeing these Ultralists very shortly. 3-3, how long? 20 seconds away from completion. Look at the units, still down to 37, so can't see much. We do have a few drops down at the top. Wouldn't mind to see a drop at the third as well. We haven't really seen much drop play. That is the first drop play that we have seen. And I guess that's the thing, when you don't have any map control, you can't really drop that easily, because you know, it's a big risk, because you don't know what you're going against. But it looks like we have, how much is that? 9 Ultras, all on 3-3 upgrades. We don't have the level, we do, looks like we got 10 seconds until 5 upgrade, and these Marines will be able to do minimal damage. FaDe Ricochet seeing that he's in a lot of trouble at the moment. Bit of mana BM, but looks like we will be seeing the final engagement very shortly. And we do have 5-3 upgraded Ultralists. These Marines will be able to do 3 damage, and this will just stream through. There is no need to get excited, it will just be an annihilation. Ultralists too fat for each other. There's the GG. And ToR taking game number 1. Thomas will continue on his battle as they update the scoreboard. and we will be back shortly, hopefully with game number 2, so stick around. Just to update everyone, I'm not really sure. I think we're just waiting on who will be coming in for FaDe next, unless I am making the game. I'm not sure, but either way, while we're waiting, we're tuning into SASLtv. We do have SASL Season 3 in round 2, so feel free to subscribe to us. We do have 25 sets per round, per week. Some notorious names in here, so I will have this this background up for the remainder of the set, unless someone pops in some fan art with a clan war logo. ToR. I think I have the ToR logo. I don't have a FaDe logo, so if someone wants to give me a link to a FaDe logo, I can chuck something up. Again, thank you to our sponsors of SASL. And looks like we will be jumping into game number 2 very quickly. Looks like FaDe Pepsi has been chosen to take on Thomas in game number 2. It will be a TVZ again. So just waiting on the confirmation of Thomas and I said Pepsi. It's Pezzy. Pezzy. Apologies. Pezzy is complete. Stream link, please. I will. There we go. I guess we can jump into the screen. So it looks like Pezzy is all ready to go, waiting on Thomas. May have some more watches coming through. I will take the liberty to update our score with our new plates. We'll be at Thomas versus Pezzy. That should be right. I don't know, speak to him, the guy's a dick. So I guess we're just waiting on a few more watches to come through, then we'll start this up as soon as possible. And looks like we're starting, so I will kick the music off, get the sounds back on. We will be jumping into game number 2 very shortly. Thomas, the winner of game number 1, will be defending and attempting to take out Pezzy. We'll be at another TVZ, and we will be having on MLG Shakura's Plateau. And as we jump into the game, Alright, let's get straight into it. So, spawning in our bottom right hand corner, we do have the victor of game number 1, the pink Zerg. We do have Thomas for ToR. And spawning in our top left hand corner, we do have the representative for FaDe out to get rid of Thomas after his victorious first match. We do have the dark blue Terran FaDe Pezzy. And maybe there is something that Pezzy says at the start of each game. Obviously, I don't know. There will be another TVZ, I mean. Apologies for that. So, as we saw in the first game, Thomas did do a 15 expand. Actually, I tried to... it's correct, it's incorrect. So while I talk, I will say. So, yeah, as we saw in the first game, we did have Thomas go for that 15 expand. Interesting to see if that is the case again. Bear with me as I update the scoreboard. Thomas, we do have 0, baby. Alright, I think we are all sweet. No, we're not. I didn't do the colours. Almost there. First world problems. I think we are all good. I think. Let me know if it's not. And, what did I miss? Train wins. Okay. So, I guess into the game we do have, again, standard barracks opening. We do have a gas being taken, so it won't be a gasless expand or any kind of fun like that. And it looks like we will be having that 15 hatch. If you note from the first game, we did have that double barracks go down. There actually wasn't any bunker play that ended up from that. We did opt for heavy barracks play. Sorry, it was a 2 racks into an expand. It looks like we're not going to have that same opening from Pezzy. Gas is being taken now. More than likely we'll see that pool going down very shortly. Getting the gas first, so he will be able to start speedling as soon as possible. And there we go, we have the pool going down. As Thomas does scout, will correctly scout cross positions. As his overlord down the bottom left did scout down here. Interesting to see where Pezzy goes. You can't spawn close by ground, but you can spawn close by air and cross positions. It looks like he is going cross positions.
Complete.
At least I think you can spawn close by air. Please let me know if I am incorrect in saying that. But Pezzy will jump through here. See the hatchery almost complete. And the pool will be incomplete. So we'll know that there was a 15 expand. Sees the gas as well. So looks like we will be having some marine pressure. And we might see a bunker again. Good placement on it, maybe even if you put it a bit further back, but if we look at the vision, he can see it, so only one worker being pulled at the moment. This Marine will be able to deal with it, and it needs to pull more drones off this, otherwise it will complete. I'm not sure, I think it's in range, you'd hope it's in range of Thomas, but looks like Thomas may all in, they say, duck, but he is pulling drones now. We'll want to get a surround on those Marines, otherwise they can start a step around. And actually the bunker does complete, so he needs to make sure that these Marines can't jump in. We do have Lings, and more than likely we'll be able to deal with this. Nice starter step from Pezzy, but it will be denied, and that will be salvaged. So, good control from Thomas. I was concerned at the start, he didn't actually bring too many drones, but a nice control he did. get the Marines, which is the main thing. So no real damage done. A little bit of a mining time loss, but it looks like we do have an expansion coming down. Pretty standard barracks opening into a reactor Hellion expand. And this Ling will more than likely jump up here, or not. More than likely we'll jump up here and see the Hellions and know that's the case. But it looks like he is getting Roach Warren behind this. Pretty standard. Obviously Roaches are very effective versus Hellions. Hellions seems to be the norm of TVZ at this point in time. We'll jump up here, see the reactor on the factory and know that's happening, and here is a confirmation. More than likely we'll lose that drone. Sorry, that Ling. But we do have the Roach Warren complete. So we'll be able to make a few roaches. We have 7 roaches in production. Quite a lot. And we only had 4. Actually, no, he's building 6. So interesting to see how many Hellions PEZI does make. It does give an idea of how aggressive with the Hellions are going. And actually lining them up. So he needs to be careful not to lose all of his drones. Not sure why he actually did opt to run them up to his main. But we do have 7 roaches on the field, so they should be able to deal with these Hellions pretty effectively. He wants to make sure he doesn't go too far out, otherwise the Hellions can shoot back through, but he might be just going for his own attack. It will be shown, and if he's not careful, as these roaches go by, PEZI will just run straight through and annihilate this mineral line. But again, he needs to be careful. He doesn't really have that much at home. If we look at the units, he only has 2 Marines and 1 Marauder. So interesting how this goes. As he really needs to. As soon as he sees these roaches jump up, he more than likely. Actually, no, he's coming to defend. Interesting choice there. He is in a lot of trouble. He needs to make sure that he can hold this. You do have a bunker going down, but the Lings are going to stream through and more than likely deal with this SCV before it completes. Nice block. Actually, the Roach is blocking, so his own unit is blocking, but this bunker will go down, and I feel pretty bad position for PEZI. I thought he would definitely have gone for the drones at the Zerg base, but even if he does hold this, which he may, he will lose a lot of workers. If we look down to 11 workers lost so far, we'll keep it up. He uses 13 now. Does clean it up. 2 more roaches on the way. Obviously, Hellions don't do that much damage, but when you have enough of them, they can eventually kill a roach. But 2 more roaches in production. We do have how many on the field? We do have 22 Lings and 1 roach now, and he will just keep streaming through here and be able to more than likely take the game. There really isn't much that that PEZI can do about this. His Hellions are the only thing really keeping him in this, and a nice round almost on the Hellions. 2 go down. We do have a 3rd almost completely destroyed, and again, nice timing from Thomas, realizing an opportunity that a Hellion expand does have its potential weakness, and choosing a good timing. And the Hellions do go down, and there's the GG. So PEZI knocking out. Nice bunker pressure early. It didn't quite land as he probably would have hoped, but again, credit to Thomas being able to take that game quite convincingly. Once he broke that wall with those roaches, was able to stream through there. And actually, I might just jump back to our other StarCraft logo as I get the music going, but we'll be back shortly as Thomas is on his relentless rampage, going 2-0 at the moment. We'll see who goes up against him very shortly. back. No word yet on who the third opponent will be for Thomas. Water is a good. Looks like I do have a screen that might be able to be used. I like it. Well played there, Carlo. Big fan. I will jump that on the stream ASAP. Let's get it going right now. Media file. Check out this baby. That's a bad boy. Oh, let's love everything about it. This is SASL. A crazy Mexican. Always getting the graphics done. That's so sick. Looks like Metex might be up. He thinks he's up at least. We're gonna let you know when it is official. Now Thomas is a 1v1 diamond, so obviously a decent opponent to come across. This is a best of 9, so Thomas has taken the first 2 games. If he wins the next 3, he will all-kill. Both teams do have 5 players at their disposal. First 5 obviously wins. Thomas may actually be switching races, it seems. He's wondering if he can switch over to Terran. So it looks like Thomas wants to switch from Zerg to Terran. Originally Metex, it would appear, was going to play him, but potentially with this switch to Terran, he may be playing Dino. Veno. I choose you, Venusaur. So it looks like FaDe Venusaur might be going up against Thomas. But again, this is all speculation. I'll let you know when it's official. Like the game is being created now, so it shouldn't be too much longer. And there we go, I do have the invite. It looks like it will be Venusaur versus Thomas. I will jump into the screen so you guys can all look at. Oh my goodness, we do have a few spectators for this one. And we'll be jumping straight into it. So we do have Thomas. Actually, Thomas is going Zerg. So interesting to see if he did mean to do that. I forgot to switch, but we'll have a ZVP for game number 3. I will shut the scoreboard down just temporarily. as we get straight into a game. FaDe, shout out to FaDe. Go see. So spawning in our top right hand corner, we do have our third person for FaDe. Out to stop Thomas's rampage, we do have our light blue Protoss FaDe Venusaur. And spawning in our bottom left hand corner in this 1v1 map will be cross positions. Obviously we do have our light pink Zerg up 2-0 in this. Interesting to see if he can knock out a Venusaur as well. We do have the Zerg Thomas. And this is the thing that sucks about so many spectators, is you guys spam it all. Anyway, nonetheless, I'll get over it. We do have a pylon down, so more than likely we'll see a Forge fast expand. I guess a bit of background into this map. It is very common to see, in fact I'd say almost always you see a Forge fast expand from a Protoss. It's a nice narrow choke. You can choke it off with 3 buildings and a cannon or a pylon. It does allow that macro up very early. Common, you'll see Zergs get that early third. There's 2 options. You can either go for a bust, but more often than not, in my experience, I have seen a lot of early thirds being taken from the Zerg as they do realize that the Protoss can't really pressure for some time. And then from there, it really is anyone's game. You can see Roach heavy play, I guess, from the Protoss, anything from Stargate to Robo to Gateway pressure. It's really anyone's game, but we will be seeing more than likely see that Gateway go down first, maybe a Cannon, and then the Nexus. But we do have these Probe just chilling around in the base. More than likely will jump down into the natural when he feels like the expansion is about to go down, but we do have the spawning pool going down first. No gas yet, so maybe just trying to make sure I can get that Queen up earlier. As we look back, we do have the Probe going down. So interesting to see if we do have the Nexus going down first. So we don't actually have the Gate. There are different variations of the Forge expand that you can do. And this Probe will just sit down here, more than likely try and deny the expansion for as long as possible. And looks like it's just dropped a pylon and will jump in for his own second scout. Now 2 options here. Looks like the Lings are more than likely just going to deal with this. 2 options, you can have obviously the Zerg to kill the pylon, or they can also go to the 3rd location and expand there. But the Probe does go down as well. So good work from Thomas. I guess that's the benefit of that early pull. He's able to get the Queen and the Zerglings out early. And I'm not sure if this is a complete wall yet. I don't think so. Yeah, you can have, I think you need 1 Zealot to make that a complete wall. I don't think you can see this. No, you can't see this. So Thomas does know that it is an expansion, and we'll be checking for a 3rd. And Thomas will be going for his own scout, so we'll see the Forge fast expand. We do have 2 gases, I guess a notable thing. We do have 2 gases going from Venusaur, so generally implying we'll see more tech heavy, whether we go into a Robo or Stargate. It really depends how many gateways he chucks down. We have the Cybercore finally going down. Did see that, and I think this perhaps this Overlord is going to try and sneak up. It's kind of trapping itself. Once those Stalkers go out, he will have to retreat. We do have that, like I said, we do have that 3rd going down for Thomas. It's pretty safe. I mean, you can't really have much pressure from the Protoss early, so we'll be able to drone up quite heavily if we look at the units. Sorry, the worker count. 26 v 17. Obviously, Venusaur had the expansion up early. I do anticipate we will have Zerg catching up very quickly. As you can see, 5 drones in production. And I haven't actually jumped on the screen, so apologies for that. I will do that now. So bear with me as I update this. We do have... And he is Punk. So, Thomas versus Venusaur. Alright, I think that is all sweet. I didn't drop this. There we go. Let me know if anything is incorrect. Apologies for that. What do we have for Protoss? I think that really will show where the game is heading. We do have 3 more gateways coming down. We'll make 4 in total. It's interesting to see if he... there's a few options for Protoss. In a few games recently I have seen him go for that 7 gate all in. Does he know that there is an expansion at the 3rd yet? He doesn't actually. It will be scouting for it right now, and actually is putting a pylon right in front of an overlord, so it will be scouted, and the Zerglings will be able to deal with it quite easily. Looks like they are going to jump out now. So, and looks like we have three, still just the three. So, level 1 upgrade. Obviously, I think about the upgrading. If you look, there's two options for armor or weapons. In different matchups, it means different things. With Protoss versus Terran, it's generally considered the most important upgrade initially is to do that armor upgrade so that your Zealots can tank the Marine fire more effectively and soak up the damage. But in EVZ, definitely the weapon upgrade is the one of choice. It means you can 2-hit lings, as we just saw there. And I'd like to see where this lands. We do have a Twilight Council going, so we may be seeing Blink Stalker or Chargelet. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm not that great at foreseeing what the game is going to hold, but again, looking at the drone count, I'm actually surprised that there is a lack of droning from Thomas. Only on 36 with 3 base. He did has 33 lings, so a lot of lings on the field. And interesting to see, we do have Blink started, so we'll be seeing, looks like, how many gates? 7 gate, so it is 7 gate Blink all in, I think. I don't, I'm pretty sure you can't recover, not necessarily recover, but generally won't expand behind it, so he definitely needs to do damage with it. His pylon that he jumped down earlier actually got denied, so he doesn't have an offensive pylon out. We'll need to get that shortly. But again, although it might be considered an all-in, if you can do enough damage to the Zerg opponent, you can re-macro up. Looks like the probe is going to jump around here and do an expansion. Not expansion, a pylon. But he does have 1k in the bank, so does have quite a bit of pooling. And we do have level 2 upgrades chronoing out, so interesting to see the timing of this. We do have a Roach one that was completed and Evolution Chamber jumping down now, so we'll see upgrades starting shortly. And some good information for Thomas. Seeing that Stalker heavy composition generally will denote that you will see Blink Stalkers coming out. And you can generally build a force that will defeat Stalkers, so more than likely we'll see, actually we'll see 14 Roaches on the way, so interesting there. This Blink, with Blink completing, these Roaches will actually be far less effective. I mean, it depends really if they can get a nice surround on these Stalkers, but again, you can Blink all day around Roaches, but it needs to be careful not to overcommit. It does Blink away, and an offensive Blink up. It needs to be careful. We've got a nice surround on these Zealots. Zealots doing a lot of damage to the Lings, but will be repelled and in a little bit of trouble here. We do have an offensive Blink. We have a lot of Roaches coming through, and he did use his Blink, so he won't be able to retreat initially, but again, this Blink micro we'll see as we see it now. So that's what I was saying, needs to jump in, and as he is, but this Blink micro does mean that you are very mobile. You can take a few shots from the Roaches, then retreat. 26 Lings in production, so I feel like that is definitely an appropriate response. If you can get a nice surround on the Stalkers, generally helps. And it looks like it will be trying to do a surround and a lot of Stalkers, but this doesn't look very good for Thomas. 7 gauge is a very strong build. It obviously is an all-in. And nice Blink micro. We do have a Spine Crawlers going down, but they won't be out in time. These Stalkers will be able to deny them. And 3 more Roaches and 8 Lings in production, but I feel very confident with Venusaur at this point in time. I would like to see another pylon a bit closer. His pylon's all the way back here, so it does take a little while for his Stalkers and Zealots to come in, but there's the GG. So Thomas finally going down to FaDe Venusaur. FaDe getting the first point on the field, and will be interesting to see who ToR brings out next, but again, we'll be getting game number 3 underway pretty shortly, but solid play from the Protoss. Obviously a 2 base all-in, 7 gates, pretty strong. Pretty hard to beat unless you can scout it. And it wasn't scouted, so GG's all around, and we'll be back shortly. And looks like we're jumping straight into game number 4. Very quick start. We do have Venusaur versus TNI. ToR has put in TNI, a Protoss player, so it will be a PvP. As I get another song started, bear with me. And apologies if there is any lag. Occasionally my computer does decide to have a little hissy fit, and occasionally lags for a few seconds. If it is a recurring issue, please let me know. I'll see if I can fix it. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Let me know if that's any better. And I will jump into the game. And looks like we're starting game number 4 very soon. Yeah, 5 seconds on the countdown. TNI versus Venusaur. We do have a 2-1 in the favor of ToR, if I am not correct. And will be Cloud Kingdom once again. It will be PvP, so interesting to see how this pans out. We see a lot of different builds that can come out. And there's often I guess I'll go into the matchup very shortly. Let's get the intro sorted. So spawning in our bottom left hand corner, we do have the second player for ToR jumping in after Thomas went down. We do have our dark blue Protoss TNI, and spawning cross position in this 1v1 map. We do have our victor of the last map finally taking down the 2-0 from Thomas. We do have our red Protoss FaDe Venusaur, and I will get the starboard up as it has changed. Bear with me. Like I was going to say while I'm doing this, is that PvP can kind of often have that awkward stage where it is one base versus one base, and you kind of get those colossi and it feels a bit but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this pans out. Obviously a lot of different builds available. I don't really have much experience with PvP. I am a Terran player. Please don't judge me. And I think that's correct. Let me know if it's not. And oh no, I did have the sound. So there we go. Ooh, we do have a proxy gate and double. Already some shenanigans going down. So double denying of the gas. Will not be able to take any gas early. We do have a proxy as well from TNI. So we'll be seeing that early. He hasn't scouted, so we'll be able to see the early pressure, and it will be able to build some defensive cannons, or necessarily even offensive cannons as well. Interesting to see if this is scouted from Venusaur. I think it is going to be scouted, and that's some pretty big news. We do have a Zealot being chronoed out, but he will see it very early. Interesting to see how he plays this out. He is getting his own forge, so we'll probably more than likely go straight into some defensive cannons. Here we go, and that's some pretty big scouting information. We don't have a Zealot on the field yet, but this will actually... And he's pulling all these probes. I mean, the fact that you can build cannons, both parties do know that each other have a forge up. Cannon will start, but the pylon will go down. You will need to build another pylon. And definitely an all-in here from Venusaur. And the cannon just completing, so as long as he can pull some probes, all he really needs to do is, if the Zealot does attack this cannon, is put some probes around it so it can't actually attack. And the Zealot will go down, or at least be almost complete. But again, he needs to deal with this cannon rush very effectively. Oh, he needs to get rid of this probe. If he can get rid of that probe, it's a big deal, but these Zealots are going to be huge impact. And TNI not really paying attention at that point in time, but the pylon will go down. He has three unpowered cannons about to happen, and that's good focus fire from Venusaur. We'll start a pylon down here, and the probe is almost dead. It will take one more hit, and it will go down here. Will he get the... He does get the pylon, but it will get denied. And this pylon will complete. I don't think it's actually in range of this pylon. Sorry, of this cannon. It isn't. So, good hold from Venusaur. There will be no cannons. And Spook appropriately saying the response pretty clutch. Really, if that was one closer, I'm not sure if it can be closer. But again, it was pretty close. He still has the 2 gases up. And Interesting to see how this pans out for the rest of the game. We'll see this cannon be able to deal with these cannons. Cannon v cannon. We do have a second probe coming through, and we'll be building it just here. But nice quick reaction. Having this watchtower is pretty big news. He will be able to see when the probes are coming, and he's just building a whole heap of pylons, trying to do that where you have too much going on where it can't be denied. This zealot will more than likely go down. But pretty big. The fact that these 3 cannons will become powered very shortly. He will get 1 down before it becomes powered. And we do have 2 cannons v the 1 cannon, so this cannon will go down. And looks like this gateway is in a lot of trouble. So good return from TNI, is able to repower the gates. Another probe is on its way, but again, that's what I was saying, like he can see, Venusaur can see when these probes are coming through, but this gateway is his only building that can build units. He needs to build some more cannons, is the only way he can really recover from this. And we do have another cannon being produced, and there's a GG. Venusaur realizing he cannot come back from this, and what I thought might have been a bit longer of a game actually has turned out to be quite a quick game. So Venusaur being defeated, TNI getting rid of him, makes it 3-1 in ToR's favour. We will jump into game number, what is that, 5? I think it's 3-1 now. So we'll jump into game number 5 very shortly, but nice and quick one. Pretty clutch from Venusaur initially, but wasn't able to hold the aggression, constant aggression from TNI, and quick game. Looks like Manly may be up next for FaDe. Looking at the FaDe ToR chat, but again, nothing official yet. This is a part where it's sick when you have a co-caster because you can just talk. But yeah, nothing really happening at the moment. I guess both clans, well actually no, it would be FaDe working out amongst themselves who they're going to chuck in next. TNI victorious in that last game. Does make it 3-1 in the favour of ToR. Good to see so many people tuning in. I think this is my second clan war that I have done. We had ToR versus QED, I said that earlier in the cast. A bit earlier on in the month, or last month. And we've jumped into the game screen. TNI versus Manly. Will be an MLG Tal'Darim Altar. Will be another PvP. So interesting to see how this pans out. Again, I'm not sure what TNI's playstyle is, if whether he does that each game. Maybe we'll see a one-base Blink Stalker. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but we'll be jumping into the game now, so we'll be starting game number 5, I believe, very soon. In fact, right now. And see if Manly can demantle TNI as we jump into the game. So apparently TNI is actually a Zerg. Well, there you go. Interesting, maybe, I don't know, is Protoss his up race? Yeah, that's something we can talk about soon. Okay, anyway, so I will rectify that situation very shortly. You guys can chat about it while I do the intro. So spawning in our bottom right hand corner, we do have the person from FaDe out to try and stop TNI's 1-game streak. We do have the light pink Protoss FaDe Manly. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we do have the victor of the last game in a pretty clutch PvP. Very quick, very sweet and very succinct. We have our dark blue Protoss representing ToR TNI. And bear with me as once again I update our scoreboard. It now makes it 3-1. And I think that should do it. Again, let me know if anything is incorrect. So, Manly incorrectly guessing initially. It looks like it will be trying to scan up the top left as well. So it will mean he will scout at the last possible direction. It looks like also, so both TNI and Manly will be incorrectly scouting each other. It'll be some time before either of them actually does find each other. We do have a gas going down for both of them. Exact same build opening at this point in time. Interesting chat in the chat, but again, we do have the gates finishing, so it'll be interesting to see how this pans out if we do have 4-gate or potentially something else. Given the size of this map, it is very well known for 4-gate v 4-gate. Whether that has changed, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a Protoss player, as I said, but in my experience, I do know 4-gate v 4-gate pretty common on this map. So finally, we do have Manly scouting TNI. And we'll see the pretty standard opening. I guess the notable thing is we'll see one gas. Both of the oppositions do have gas, and we'll be about another half minute before TNI scouts in the base, both chronoing out warp gates, so both exactly the same build at this point in time. Apparently TNI is Korean. There you go. And the second gate does go down, and as the same time we do have, actually there's the first notable difference, Manly going for the 2 gates at once versus the TNI single gate. And there we go, we do have confirmation of the 4 gate from Manly. Interesting to see how we see this, and we do have the 4 gate coming down from TNI, so a little bit later. Look at the worker count, both on 20. Probably should have looked at that earlier. That is the key indication that we have the 4 gate coming when you cut probes at 20. Looks like we will be having a proxy pylon or offensive pylon somewhere around here. If we look at, there is actually, this is the probe that we'll need to look to see where the pylon goes. We do have the pylon going down for Manly up here. And in a similar position, we will have TNI's pylon going down here. So it looks like TNI will be playing the more aggressive. And does he see it? This will be big. If he can see it and deny this pylon, he will actually be able to deny it, which will mean that there will be no reinforcements for TNI for some time. He is getting a nice clutch. Does he actually? He did see it, so he actually is deciding to leave up the pylon. It is probably not the most important aspect, as he did see the Stalker and Zealot trying to poke in. For Stalkers being morphed, actually at home, interestingly enough. Not sure why there. No offensive attack from Manly. So both parties just gearing up for their pressure. Looks like this will be denied, and it's very important to get the probe so that no more pylons can be made. It looks like it will be dealt with, and this pylon will actually, it wasn't cancelled, so it did lose all 100 minerals, but he does have this one here that TNI is unaware of, and looks like this pylon will be taken out as well as the other one, which will almost actually having their, apologies for that lag there, both parties having their pylons removed, but Manly, the only one with an offensive pylon in place, still hasn't been scouted from TNI. And if we look at the work count, still looks like TNI up to 24, so maybe you're trying to take out of a 4 gate pressure. But Manly, it looks in no state to be backing down. If we look at the army size, we do have 28v26. The unit count 9v9, 2v5. So very similar. We'll come down to the micro, and the having the advantage of a sentry might be quite a big deal. Looks like we have the engagement coming through now. Nice force field will deny at least some sort of splitting, and the Zealots go down, and it will be a fight neck and neck. No real micro scene. I guess you can't really micro when there is no blink in the field, but looks like TNI will be retreating at least so he can get his reinforcements in. We do have the pylon offensively being completed. Manly will be able to warp in. And the thing about 4-gate is you really need to make sure that you warp in the correct, again sorry for that lag, correct units. Warp in too many Zealots and Stalkers can just kite you all day. Equally, if you make too many Stalkers, then you won't be able to have the DPS you need potentially to take it out. But Manly in the offensive position at the moment too. A Zealot's been warping in, needs to micro against them. Doing it quite effectively, and it all comes down to focus firing, making sure you focus the right units. We do have 2 more Stalkers in production, and Manly in retreat will lose both of these Stalkers. Actually only loses one, and doesn't lose a second, but and a pretty clutch from TNI, I will say. Definitely Manly in the disadvantage. If we look 25v22, and apologies again for any of that computer lag, it does rage at me sometimes. Looks like getting a Twilight Council, so more than likely we'll see a Blink Stalker play. But it looks like TNI, realizing that he did hold off that pretty strongly, will be making sure there are no pylons. The pylon will go down, and may actually just do a little poke to see if he can do any kind of punishing pressure. This probe might actually do a proxy pylon. There it is. So it looks like it's TNI's turn to apply the pressure. And if he can get into this choke, we don't have any stalkers, but if we, any sentries. If he can get inside this choke, it's actually a pretty big deal. He is chronoing out his warp gates. Look at the unit count. We do have 8v7, 3v4, so again, very close. TNI just going for the scout. He won't be able to see the Twilight Council, but does get to see the composition, and more than likely won't attack until he has a few more reinforcements. Blink on the way, just starting. 26v28, so again, very close. 4-gate v 4-gate is obviously very, very close, and looks like we're having another engagement. These Zealots could do a lot of damage. He actually isn't doing any kind of micro, just retreating completely so he can have those Zealots at the front. But did lose a few units for free. Like I'm saying, it's a very neck and neck. Any one misclick can cause the game to end. And he is going for another secondary pylon, which will actually deny any kind of nexus as well. But I think the big point to look at is we do have this Blink Stalker play. Oh, sorry, not. I was actually looking at the wrong one. So we do have Blink Stalker coming down for TNI, so he will wait for Blink to come out, which will make a big difference. He will be able to basically increase the DPS potential of his Stalkers significantly. And actually we do have a Dark Shrine now for Manly, but it won't come out in time for this pressure. And it looks like Blink is almost complete. Isn't complete yet. 5 more seconds until it's complete. The Zealots are firing at each other. Once this Blink completes, now it has completed, so we will see that Blink Micro come into play, and now this will be a huge deal. Offensive Blink in, actually not actually opting to do any kind of Blink Micro, just realizing that he's in such a strong position, he's going to Blink in. There's a GG, and Manly has left the game. So well played. And it does mean that Manly puts it back to 2-3, and we will be back with game number 6 very shortly. Pretty clutch play there. Blink Stalker, very nice. I mean, if he didn't be too aggressive, those DTs could have made quite a bit of difference. I mean, there was no robo out, so he would have had free range to just annihilate the fourth, but again, the timing wasn't there. One base DT was too late for the Blink Stalkers, and a nice hold from TNI. Sorry, TNI did win, apologies, so that does make it 4-1. So yeah, that does mean, actually is a pretty big deal, because if TNI wins this next game, it will mean ToR will win the clan war. They are 4-1 up in this set, or this clan war I should say. So it is a pretty clutch decision on who FaDe brings in. Spook is asking the question if TNI can change to random. They add a little bit of excitement to the game. But I'll be right back with another drink. Looks like it may be Metex coming in for the last game. I think he's the only one left.
It's the same old you, the same old me. You get bored and I get cold feet. Get high, get wandering eyes. Forget I've never ever had it so sweet. I realize what I got when I'm out of town. Cause deep down you're my girl in the golden crown. My princess and I don't wanna let you down. No, I don't wanna let you down. You want me to come over, I've got an excuse. Might be holding your hand, but I'm holding it loose. Go to talk and we choke, it's like our necks and loose. Avoid the obvious, we should be facing the truth. Start to think you could be feeling now. Trying to shop because I never really had any doubts. Look into your eyes, imagine life without you. Game starts again. Start to think you could be feeling now. Trying to shop because I never really had any doubts. Look into your eyes, imagine life without you. It's the same old you, the same old me. You get bored and I get cold feet. Get high, get wandering eyes. Forget I've never ever had it so sweet. I realize what I've got when I'm out of town. Cause deep down I'm getting the golden crown. My princess and
And they text saying he needs a few minutes, going to the toilet. So yeah, shouldn't be too much longer. You are tuning into SASLtv. We are in the middle, I should say near the start of our SASL Season 3. So if you want to see quite a few matches throughout the week, be sure to subscribe, check us out. We are on Facebook. I will link, actually, while we're waiting, I might as well link the challenge brackets so you guys can check them out. A few of you are actually playing in it. I did do a cast earlier today with the Forever Mana Flanger. So you might see him casting a few times as well. And we are looking at also getting some guest casts in. I know Champy was keen on some casting at times, as well as Big Bird and a few others. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors for that. $300, nice cash pool. Hopefully the casting hasn't been too bad. I am a casual caster. Feedback is always welcome. And yeah, feel free if any more clan wars do happen, if you don't have a streamer and I'm around, feel free to get in touch. My Skype details are on the screen when we are in game. Spook, I can put them on YouTube if you would like. We do have the access to put it on our SASLtv page on YouTube, so I will more than happy to do that. Forks at the moment, we don't have a team tournament. We did try one. I'll just turn the music down a little bit so you can hear me. We did have a 2v2 tournament mid last year. Didn't quite complete, but again, we were pretty small. I think we're up to 170 members now. So, look, if there's enough interest, then definitely we'll be more than happy to look into the potential to have a 2v2 tournament. Okay, so apparently someone wants to do a write-up. Pretty sick. Yeah, so I will put this up on YouTube. I'll quickly get the link while we wait to our channel. So there's a link to our YouTube channel. So what we're doing with this season is we are uploading